Hey everyone, Mike Mulroney here with this edition of Shirley Talk TV. Thanks for joining in. Today we have Miss Sarah Langmeyer. I hate all names. How about that? She just recently got married, so I was asking which name. She said either one is fine. So Sarah is the executive director for the Southwest Community Ministries. Is that correct? I get the name right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how in the world, we were just talking a little bit, I just fell into the charity world because I had a passion for something. So I didn't know if people had a degree to do mission work and charity work. How did you get involved into the ministries?
Very similar to you, finding a spot in the community where help was needed that I had a passion for. There are degrees. There are plenty of people that go to school, and that is exactly what their degree is in.
Ours is in hard knocks and begging for money. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to ask for money.
That's right.
Not afraid to stand up for somebody who usually doesn't get heard.
Yeah.
And that'll help you move mountains.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah. So you weren't heavily involved. You weren't even thinking about charity and ministry work until, I guess, the job came open. What were you doing before that?
So I had some experience in hospitality and retail. And had an opportunity, a friend had told me that this job had opened up, and I had previously done some work with the ministries in a completely different format. But when I found out that there was an opportunity for me to be able to reach out to the community and to help my neighbors and, kind of help really make a difference,
yeah.
I put my hat in the ring.
Yeah, well, that's good. I know Charlie here, he's not shy about talking to people about the reason why he's involved with you all, because he was in a situation younger, to need services for that. And the services you all provide are amazing. So how do people find out about the ministries? Is it older people, younger people, a mix of everything? I mean, who benefits from your all services?
Everyone across the board benefits. So we have everything from a food pantry that anybody that lives in 40272, 40258, or the Jefferson County portion of 40177 can go to Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 3. Anyone that lives in this area can hit us up for food. Doesn't matter age. Then we have age-specific programming. We've got some senior cheese program, our CSFP program. We've also got a Meals on Wheels program that is age specific, where we deliver food to homebound seniors. And then we have our emergency financial assistance. So that encompasses the whole household, and it can look like help with rent or LG&E or water. We've got great grant and relationships with those companies, as well as Metro. So that way we can kind of provide those services. And then we're just one of 13. So in all actuality, ACM as a whole covers all of Jefferson County.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking about the financial side of it. I just associate you all with people who need food. So if somebody's in need of services for LG&E, they've lost their job, and given COVID, a lot of people have lost their jobs right now. So do they have to provide paperwork or something? How do they apply for that type of thing?
So right now, all of our applications are going through our website. So southwestcommunityministries.org. And that's where you would go to apply for rental assistance, utility assistance, and then our Kids Christmas program link is also on our Need Help page. That's another service that we provide to the community. And what you do is you go on and you apply, and then we reach back out. So if we've already got just a basic info form on you about who you are and how many people are in your household, it's pretty easy. We just need an updated bill, a copy of the lease, things like that to get things moving and to see. Pre-COVID, it would be like a pay stub for the last month, all the pay stubs. During COVID, it might look like a letter from your employer stating that, hey, we're closed, or a letter from your doctor stating that you need to quarantine, things like that, where we can show that there is in fact a need. And then from there, it's really simple. You talk to one of our intake coordinators. Then we go over a couple of basic questions, and then we sit down and figure out which pot of money, your situation looks like it fits.
So can people apply more than once during the year? I mean, is it something they can apply repeatedly? I mean, people are in really bad situations right now, and money is scarce. And I'm sure the money that's being donated to you all is scarce too. So is something that somebody can apply for more than once?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially right now with COVID.
Right.
Yes. So It does take a little bit longer when you're not a first-time applicant, because obviously then we have to go back there and look at old paperwork, see, hey, has this pot of money been used? Has that pot of money been used? On a normal year, on a non-COVID year, someone can get help with water, they can get help with LG&E, and they can get help with rent.
Okay.
And then the food pantry is always open. Once a month, you can come get all the food. And then sometimes, depending on special programs that we might have, there might be other options available. But every year, water, LG&E, and rent is always available.
That's
unless we run out of money.
Yeah. Has that ever became a problem? I mean, I don't even know how you all are funded. How are you all funded?
So we have those relationships with LG&E and the water company, which the association has worked on for the last 35 years.
Right.
And then we have formula grants that we apply for through Metro Louisville.
Okay.
And then we do a lot of fundraising, just like you.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a lot of fundraising. We just try to to keep all of our options open and throw that dinner once a year. And
I was going to ask, what's a non-COVID year look like? I know you'll have a big sit-down dinner and auction and things like that. What else do you do to raise money?
So actually, 2020 was going to be our first year for her 5K. And we had to cancel that.
Right.
And then we did a online auction in lieu of our annual dinner.
Did that do okay?
It was pretty good. I mean, considering it is a year of pandemic, we feel insanely blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, pushing online stuff is very difficult because if you have a captive audience physically, it's easier to get on their nerves enough to make a donation. But if you're not in front of them and pushing it online, it's kind of tough to pull at the heartstrings on them. So
it is definitely a lot harder. We always have this one item that we auction off.
Right.
Usually it's a grill of some sort.
I got that grill last year.
You did get that grill last year. So you understand that enthusiasm that comes.
Some of my friends bid against me just to run it up. Actually, the person that won it, I didn't win it. He won it and he gave it to me. So anyway, it's kind of worked out pretty well.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that grill brought over $2,000 in that friendly competition.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen online.
No.
It doesn't happen when you can't interact with people. And it was kind of a last minute decision to go ahead and do that. So we wanted to make it happen. And if COVID prevents us from doing it again, we'll try to do a live with it and things like that. But as you guys know, it's just not the same. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. We've been next door when it's a full house and a watermelon container full of food for the pantry, and you can't even walk from the front door to the back.
Yeah, those are good times. She's talking about our Queen of Hearts drawing, the very first one we did, and the drawing got up to almost 800,000. Well, we decided to try, and since we had a captive audience, have people bring in canned goods, and we would do different raffle items and things, and we brought in a lot of canned goods. It was pretty amazing to watch. So, but people love to help. They just need to know they just need to be told how to help. So all we did was advertise we're collecting canned goods, and boom, they just started pouring in.
Yeah.
So where do you get most of your food? Are you tied to a national organization somewhere? Or?
We are a Dare to Care distribution center.
Okay.
So all of our food comes from Dare to Care and through partnerships that we've made with them. So we get Kroger retail pickups. There's partnerships with Little Caesars, things like that.
Okay.
So those three core people, we just got to add Starbucks. Are really like the protein packs.
I didn't know you could get that.
Yep. So it'll be like a boiled egg, some fruits or some vegetables, some cheese.
From Starbucks.
Peanut butter, yeah.
Wow, good for them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's all that prepackaged stuff. That means that it's, once it's packaged up, it's sealed, and then we can pass it out to those that are in need. We generally try to reserve those for people who don't have as much storage, or maybe some of our homeless folks that come in and need a little bit of assistance. It's good for them because it's full of protein and good nutritious food, and then they don't have to find a way to cook it and things like that. Yeah.
So you mentioned homeless. To get food, do you have to provide any paperwork to show that you're really in dire need, or how does that work?
No paperwork to show that you're in need.
Okay.
Just paperwork to show that you live in this area. So a lot of Dare to Care distribution sites are not zip code bound. We are because of the association and how all of our other programming is laid out.
Okay.
So we would request that you would bring a piece of mail showing who you are and a photo ID saying that it's you. So that way we can at least provide a little bit of statistical information. But right now with COVID, since so many things, if you lose a ID or something like that, it's a lot harder to go get a new one made up and things like that. So the regulations are a little bit more relaxed right now.
Well, I've noticed over the years we've got a really, really bad homeless problem around here, and I've noticed more and more people are homeless, and it's very sad. And you can have your opinions or whatever, and you see somebody asking for food on the side of the road. If 5 people out of 10 are scamming the system and you helped 5 more, what's it matter if you give somebody and they're not actually in need? But I mean, it's just sad to think that there's people in the richest country in the world that have no food.
Yeah.
And it just amazes me. So
yeah.
You mentioned Meals on Wheels. I've heard of that, but is that more of like a senior program? Is that how that started, or do you know?
So Meals on Wheels is for 65 and up. It's for homebound.
Thank God I'm not in that category right now. Kelly thinks I am. She says old, so.
It's for, I know plenty of people that want to be in this program.
I'll wait for a while.
But it's for homebound who just aren't able to really be able to cook their own meals.
Right.
It's really what it comes to. It's great for, for grandparents or for mom and dad when, something happens and they aren't so bad that they can't independently live, but cooking a whole meal for themselves just isn't something that's a good idea because of either dementia or they can't physically stand long enough to cook at the stove or things like that.
Right.
So we'll drop off pre-COVID a nice hot.
So so somebody applies for that. I guess there's a special form that says, hey, I can't get out. Can you bring my food to me?
So that program is all still phone because the demographic that it's serving more than likely would not be on a computer. And we have an intake coordinator who goes through all of the motions. Are you homebound? Does anyone else live with you? Are you over the age of 65? What are your health issues? Things like that. So calling our main line and asking to speak with someone for Meals on Wheels is really the best way to get that kind of information.
People are trying to eat healthier these days, and I see a lot more meal prep companies making meals and selling them. Might be a good connection. I know a couple of them, and just reach out and say, hey, would you consider making an extra 10 meals a week or something? It might be a way to get extra food. It's just, I just can't imagine being in that situation. Well, I wasn't, as a kid, I remember standing at St. Paul's up here on Dixie waiting for rice, cheese, and powdered milk, and I think peanut butter.
Peanut butter, yep.
Yeah, I remember doing that. My dad would get laid off usually around Christmas every year, and we'd be standing there waiting for the cheese and rice and powdered milk. So obviously that's, I guess years ago the churches used to do that, but it sounds like the ministries are kind of doing that more than the churches are.
Yeah, so the Association of Community Ministries it was essentially created to try to help alleviate some of that off of the churches, and also essentially kind of can't find the word I'm looking for. So that way you're not going to 6 or 7 different churches. Those churches support us and we take care of the general community.
Okay. So is there a central database somewhere? Is that what you were getting at? So somebody couldn't apply for you and the other 6 ones?
Well, that's why we went to zip code bound.
Okay.
So that way the churches could support their zip codes and then we could in turn take care of those communities.
Right.
And there is a central database for the association that is being created this year, actually.
That's good to make sure people aren't scamming the system and is worried. It's sad you got to worry about that, but it happens.
Well, it also allows us, if someone moves from this zip code to that zip code, to keep up with their whole file, so that way they don't have to start from scratch all over again.
There you go.
Between that and then Metro United Way's Unite Us platform, we're really trying to find a way to sync up systems so that way, I think the thing that most people don't understand is when you get into the cycle of poverty, to get assistance, there is a ton of assistance to be had. Mm-hmm. But to get assistance, you have to know who to call.
Yeah.
You have to be patient. You have to have time. And then you have to have resources.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really hard for us to make sure that we have a document that's in a format that every single person's phone can open and sign. Because most of the time there's not access to a computer. There's not access to a printer. A lot of the landlords right now with COVID have been just phenomenal and have printed out all of the paperwork for the client.
Really?
The client can come in, they can sign it, the landlord scans it, sends it all back to us. That way they can get paid. The client stays in their home. Everyone wins.
Yeah.
If they're willing to do a little bit of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It actually expedites the process a lot too.
Yeah. Well, digital always makes things a lot faster.
Yeah.
And especially now, you don't want to be touching paperwork and stuff that everybody's been passing around.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's what we encourage. We've added a text line. We've got multiple emails, and then the phone. And then for those that the only option that they have is to print it and bring it to us because they don't have the ability to send it otherwise, we have a lockbox.
Okay.
They can drop it off.
I was going to ask because I know it's a problem with some seniors that they're just not comfortable with technology. So that's still available.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, it's tough. I know we're in the same situation. We're trying to digitize everything, and it's very difficult to. But once you've done it, it's nice. It just takes a little while.
Yeah, I mean, it will take a while to get us to the point where I can say, hey, we're all digital, but we've started the process.
Yeah. So what's plans for 2021? Y'all got some events already kind of you're thinking about, or?
We definitely have a couple of things that are on the roster. We have a kids nutrition education program that has been funded that we're just waiting for them to be able to go back to school.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Yeah. And then we will do at least one online auction within the next 6 months, give or take. And then the rest of it's really just going to depend on what COVID's going to let us do.
Yeah.
We love all of our sponsors and all of our donors, and but right now our focus is on our clients.
Yeah. I
normally would have sent out a newsletter by now that says, hey, thank you. This has been a great year. Don't forget us at Christmas. We'll see you in the new year. You guys might get that sometime around February.
I haven't got my letter.
We really, the focus is solely on the clients right now.
Yeah.
We've access to some CARES money that expires December 31st, and I'm doing intake coordination right now just to try to help get as many people as we can in the door.
Wow. Well, we're thankful you all are here. It's sad that we have to have you all, to be honest. But it's nice. So if somebody wanted to support you guys, can they drop off canned goods? I mean, is there specific things that I know before we were looking for easy open cans with the pop tops and stuff. So is that the type of stuff you're still looking for?
Pop tops are always great because you've got kids that are at home with NTI and you've got seniors with arthritis. So any kind of pop top, ravioli, soup, stuff like that. It's quick, easy meal. Mac and cheese microwavable, stuff like that is always fantastic. Ramen, those are all good, quick, easy. We really can't pass those out enough right now.
Yeah, and they're cheap.
Yeah, and that's the best part is that they are cheap. You can make a big difference by dropping off, 3 or 4 boxes of ramen. That's a couple of different families for us with a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Our website lists a couple of other things. We always need plastic bags. We double those up so that way we can get them out the door. And then we've got some cloth sacks for those that ride the bus or to ride a bike or walk or things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, plastic bags, ramens, raviolis, soups, fruit cups.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all that kind of stuff is definitely fantastic to be able to donate.
So yeah, if you're out there shopping, grocery shopping, I'm assuming you are affiliated with Amazon. Do they deliver food? I mean, sometimes I see these other ministries, they'll be looking for tents and stuff like that and says you can add it to Amazon and they'll deliver a tent. I mean, so will they do food as well?
They will do some food, and we actually have it on our Amazon wish list.
Okay. Because Amazon Distribution Center is like right behind you all, isn't it?
Yes.
They should put a belt down there and just slide it down to your back door.
Can we just get a conveyor belt?
Yeah.
Speed straight into the back of the
Yeah, it's pretty close. So, all right, well, that's good. Any donations, they can go to a website, and is it southwestcommunityministries.org?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a SCM? Anyway, I thought there was a shorter version of it.
We're working on it. Someone else actually owns swcm.org. So.
Well, it'll be expensive to get if somebody ever sells it. Trust me, I've already went that route.
Yeah.
So.
We're kind of hoping maybe they forget to pay their bill at some point. I'm supposed to get that email notification.
Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation. The domain worlds. There's domains I want, and they might be $10, and you'll see another one. It'll be $5,500, and I guess that's the initial going rate for something that you really want. So. Yeah,
no, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The cost that they put associated with it if I wanted to buy that person out. So
yeah, they know.
We're not going to do that. We'll spend that money in the community and
supply and demand. They know what they have and they're going to charge you for it. So
yeah.
Well, Sarah, it's been great. So if anybody wants to donate, southwestcommunityministries.org and canned goods. If you're out shopping, grocery shopping, grab a case. They're cheap. Grab a case of ravioli or a case of SpaghettiOs. I tell everybody when I was a kid, we had those boil bags. Everybody laughs at me like they don't know what they were. Do you remember what those were?
I still have boiled bags of rice.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Well, these were bags. They were turkey and chicken and roast. And anyway, it probably wasn't the best meat, but it was good. I would boil it as a kid.
Yeah.
I think they were 10 cents a box. You could buy 10 of them for $1. Anyway, there's stuff like that that's really easy for people to cook. So
yeah, those newer rice packets are awesome. There's mashed potato packets. I'm trying to think. We got a couple of other really cool items in through the Boy Scouts a couple months ago. So
it's a shame that I know I've known people that work at fast food places, and I hear that they throw a lot of food away, and it's a shame that you can't trust and handle something like that. So say they have 25 Big Macs that they've had and that they've only been set and that they couldn't wrap up real quick and seal tight and ship it over to you all. Maybe that'll work out one day. I don't know, but I know it's a complete no-no right now. But, one day it might happen. Because there's a lot of food that's thrown away in this world, and it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, there is a ton. But we've been able to secure a lot of really good partnerships to try to help with some of that. Like we've partnered up with the Food Literacy Project, so our clients are getting fresh produce from the garden directly.
That's good.
Trying to help, because normally they would do sales at the farmers markets, and with COVID, some of those got cut back quite a bit. And so it's been really nice that they've been able to give back, and hopefully one day we'll figure out the restaurants with all the extra food without any potential for
somebody getting sick. The lawyers start swarming on stuff like that. Well, Sarah, it's been good talking to you.
And I appreciate it. Thank
southwestcommunityministries.org. We'll put the website under the YouTube link, and that way, if you want to make a donation to help feed people and pay their utility bills, look them up. They do great work.
Thank you very much.
Yep.